We don't want to do that. And so we need to really take a breath, and we need to just let him, our president, do what he's going to do and support him, and let those who are in charge. That's why we have this country, is that's why we elect our representatives to do what they need to do, and just have faith that they're actually now working. And you know that they're working. They're already doing so much. And you should be so pissed that they weren't doing anything for so long. To know that they could have been working on Obamacare, that they could have done something like that to prevent anything like Obamacare happening. If they wanted it so badly, if they agree with what we're doing right now in repealing and replacing so much and went along so well with Obamacare, why didn't they do it? Because they didn't want to do anything. They're very happy in their little positions. And there are some people who are showing their true colors right now. And they're trying to build on some old establishment, and that ain't gonna fly. We actually want things to be done. And you're gonna start seeing it done, and you're gonna start enjoying it, and you're gonna start loving it, and you're gonna start getting addicted to it. Gonna really like progress. In fact, we're a little spoiled. I have seen people already go like, well, when is he gonna get to the tax break? No, you don't know how badly I want a tax break. You have no idea how much I want a tax break. And I'm gonna be patient, because there's a plan, and I'm not gonna rush it, and patience is a virtue. Another thing that most people should start to learn by. Have. And patience, y'all. Patience. Because you don't want screwy, like I said, you don't want screwy things. Some things have to be rushed. Like the travel ban had to be rushed. And they've explained why it had to be rushed. Because you don't tell people, okay, we're going to keep all the bad people out starting maybe next week. How long does it take you to get a visa, bad person? 3 days? Okay. We'll make it 2 weeks then. Give you some cushion time. So, I mean, that's why there were flaws. And now they're going to revamp it for you. Because you're so upset that some people were inconvenienced, people you have no relation to whatsoever. But again, you know, miraculously protesters showed up the day it started when no one else knew about it. People who knew about it and leaked it to people who happened to also be connected to people who like to pay people to protest. I think it's very obvious, again, to the silent majority, the big generalized silent majority that I'm talking about. I think you know. So anyway, don't do anything crazy. Let the plan sink in, enjoy it, and do what you can to promote it and encourage it. If you're an encourager, encourage it. Did I type that out? Oh yeah, I'll read you something. Hold on. I can find it. Notes. Notepad. If I disappear for a second, I'm sorry. I'll open. Recent video. Okay. So let's do this. Okay. If you believe in Pseudos and believe that there's so much marketing flooding the system, take these words as, you know, that you don't have to believe everything that you hear, and you don't have to do everything that's popular. Popularity is not bad. Things that are popular, that are good and of value and quality are not bad. Okay, that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about going and jumping off the bridge because everybody says it's really cool, even though they're not even coming to the top. Okay, it says, do not conform any longer to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Do not conform any longer to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Meaning, if you want to start being an artist, be an artist. This is the time to do it. I've always said that. But in other words, don't think that the entertainment industry is like the one that's supposed to teach you your values. Okay, that's not going to be a good idea. ABC Family had to change their name to accommodate their subject matter in all their new shows. So anyway, so if you renew your mind, then you will be able to test and approve what God's will is, his good, pleasing, and perfect will. You'll be able to decipher the pseudos. For by the grace given to me, I say to every one of you, do not think of yourself more highly than you ought. Okay, but rather think of yourself with sober judgment in accordance with the measure of faith God has given you. Just as each of us has one body with many members, and these members do not all have the same function, so in Christ, who are many, form one body, and each member belongs to all the others. So, I mean, this is talking to everybody. We're all different, and we all belong to each other, and don't think that Republicans think anything different, because we believe in this statement. We have different gifts according to the grace given us. If a man's gift is prophesying, let him do it and use it in proportion to his faith. If it is serving, let him serve. If it is teaching, let him teach. If it is encouraging, let him encourage. If it is contributing to the needs of others, let him give generously. And don't mock him or her. If it is leadership, let him govern diligently. Okay, did you hear that? If he is a leader, if leadership is his goal, then let him govern diligently. If it is showing mercy, let him do it cheerfully. Don't mock him as soon as he does something that you don't expect, or she. We have encouraged a system of lawlessness of which we have no control, and given pretty much every bad person no accountability. So that last line is mine. And, you know, we've been talking about giving people credit for being who they are, but not marginalizing them, and saying that all of these immigrants are afraid to be deported is marginalizing them. And what I think is that a lot of the protests are that they want this cheap labor. People are even protesting that President Trump not penalize companies for keeping companies here and using American labor to do what we always do, is make products. And now we're not making any products because people want this really cheap stuff. And when your economy sucks, of course you want cheap stuff. And, you know, there was a while there was a phase we went through where we wouldn't buy anything made in China. But then we realized we couldn't find anything made in America, or very little. And then when the economy tanked, we just couldn't do it anymore. There wasn't a lot of variety. There isn't a lot of ability for small businesses to grow or make anything here. So we have to buy everything cheaply. But now I'm seeing pushback where people are actually pushing back on President Trump trying to fix that problem where there is more variety here, where we can support our people here. But my problem with it is that you prefer cheap products. Is that what you're saying? And I've heard some local KLBJ radio hosts that have become very elitist talk about how, you know, they don't want all the immigrants to go away, and I don't want all the immigrants to go away either. But kind of exaggerating the situation that if immigrants are deported, that the construction industry is just going to be way more expensive than it has ever been. And it is going to get more expensive. But doesn't that mean our real estate value goes up? And there's a lot of balances there. And maybe we should slow down a little bit. If you've been to Austin lately and it's taken you 2 hours to go 20 minutes, maybe we should slow down a little bit so our roads can catch up. And I mean, it's just ridiculous, the amount of crap that's going on. And half of that is trucks. That is construction trucks being in the dang way and causing more traffic. There's all kinds of problems and reasons why we should slow down. And nobody wants to say your study needs to slow down, but we have some margin there. We can handle it. Especially if our property's values go up because it's a little bit more expensive to build. You know, I've been there when nothing was selling because everyone wanted to build a new house. When they're perfectly good houses for sale, they want to build something exactly like it because they can, because it's so damn cheap. My point is, you're an elitist if you complain about that, especially if you've already built your damn house and you live in it and you go to the country club for dinner and lunch every day and you laugh about it. Like, where are you? Anyway, the other elitist thing is that I've heard them say, I don't think it's right to penalize these companies for taking their business overseas. I like my cheap underwear. I'm sorry, I really like my cheap underwear. And they'll say that, you know, don't argue with me about quality. You know, a USA made quality, I mean, a USA t-shirt isn't made any better than the one made in China. My big problem with that is that, well, the little girl, you mean the 11-year-old that's sewing your underwear together in Sri Lanka, she's going to do a better job than the 18-year-old in Minnesota who has nothing better to do on the weekends? I mean, for a day job? I mean, what is going on? I think she might do a better job, since she's going to have a meal that she doesn't have to share with her 20 other siblings that night. I mean, come on, it's slave labor, and you're encouraging it. And that's the other resemblance to right now, is that the Democratic Party is very much associated with slavery. And, you know, they decided to change that tune, but only to enslave the entire country by having us a welfare state, and that everything that we do, we're dependent on the government. And it's just another form, and we don't want to go there. So if you do think that you need cheap labor, you absolutely need it, just go back and watch, you know, Gone with the Wind or something, and just just pretend you're a slave owner and see if you sound anything like that. I need it. I need someone to get my groceries. I need someone. I'm not willing to do it. I think at the end she was picking her own damn carrots. And that's where we're gonna be, you know, if this turns into civil war. That's what I'm saying, is that you're gonna have to pick a side. You know, it's the side of preparation and planning and doing things right and not necessarily doing it the easy way or the cheaper way. It's going to be expensive. And you can't complain about it the whole way. I think I'm done. Have a good evening.